call it that. If this is your first time here, congratulations. Glad to have you. Any first timers in the chat, this is for you. We absolutely love our first timers. You guys rock. Thank you all so much for showing up. For those of you who do not know what this channel is about, basically this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. Now, as has already been stated, and I will overstate it this entire coming year as well, we can dream alone, we can create alone, but together we can achieve. So much more. Alright, let me get this audio issue underway here. See if we can't get this down to something a little bit more. Let's see here. All right, let's check it. All right. Nope, it's still not. All right, let's see if that's any better right there. Hopefully we got you all underway. Let me know in the chat section if that's any better. So literally nothing has changed, but I did update OBS and it looks like maybe that changed. I don't know. But let me know if that's any better in the old chat section there. And while I'm waiting on that response, I'm going to go ahead and congratulate Mr. Mark George for being here today. Bob C., Pirate Beats, congratulations everyone on making it through 2020. Doug Alexander, good to see you, buddy. Tim Consley is here. Bob Consley is here. Nice. Bob C. says it's better. Thank you so much. All right, so with that being said, we should be able to move right along into the next portion of this. And that would be the December Song Contest winner reveal. Now, as usual, this is not easy. Herky Acuff, he is in the chat. Good to see you, Herky. As usual, all of the submissions were not easy at all. And I am telling you what, well, we'll just get into who the winner was here in just about a minute. But first, before we get into that, let's go through some of these formalities that I do not like to ever skip past. And that is, let's talk about these chart toppers. These are individuals who have helped to sponsor the channel over the course of, well, since we started doing these live streams, really. These are individuals who have either given through the generous donations of the Super Chat feature that's found here within YouTube, or they are monthly Patreon member account. And you can see their donation amounts there on the right-hand side through Patreon and on the left-hand side through Super Chats or Super Stickers. Thank you guys so much. Really means a lot. It helps to keep me to be able to give away free things more frequently. And that's, if you've ever been here, then you know that's one of the main things I love to do. I love to give away free stuff. And we are going into a new year now. We've got new goals, new dreams, new aspirations, but I don't want to leave this community behind. I want to take you guys along with me on these dreams, on these aspirations that I personally have, and I want to know about yours. So in the chat, while you guys are here today, what is one of your New Year's 2021? What is one of the big goals that you're shooting for? I know all of us have several different goals, but what's one of your big goals, like the main thing that you want to achieve in 2021? Let me know that in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open up Cakewalk here and load in the song that I have chosen as the winner. Not easy. Not easy. I went through these 5 or 6 times. I listened in the car, took it on a drive with us, was like wanting to beat my head against the steering wheel. Like, why do I have to make this decision? But I did finally narrow it down, and based off of the previous song contests that we've done, we've kind of switched things up. We've done things differently with all of the song contests just because we're kind of trying to get a groove, and every once in a while it's good just to kind of switch things up. Now, previously we had done some voting, and that kind of works, but then individuals who are here in the community had brought up the fact, well, if someone has a lot of friends on social media, they're going to bring them. And so it's kind of hard really to use the voting system because some people's reach on social media is larger than others. And predominantly speaking, most of the people who watch my channel are like 30s and above. And so some of them don't even have social media accounts at all. Like some of them, Facebook is maybe the only thing that they do. So that's kind of unfair. So then we went to a system where we started, actually looking at, well, okay, maybe we should just have a judges panel, which that was super fun, but then you got to get all those people together. You got to take time out of their day to actually, they have to listen to the songs now, and not everybody's willing to do that all the time. So then we just moved on to Robert, myself, just picking a winner, which is fine. And I always picked what I thought was the best out of all the submissions. But then it was brought up, well, maybe we should pick one that would be the best based off of which one could benefit the most from a actual mix and master, which if you're new here, you've not witnessed any of this before, that's what you win. So if you win the song contest, you literally win a mix and master from me. And that's your winnings. And then usually what happens is after that winning submission is gathered, I take those tracks and then I come back on the channel a little bit later and I showcase what I do to get it from, point A to point B, from an average sounding, good sounding mix to an excellent sounding, ready to release mix. And then that benefits everybody in the community. So the constructive feedback that we get here within the community is hugely beneficial. I've benefited from it myself. The constructive feedback we get from the mixes whenever I do live mix critiques, and then I actually go through the mix live and talk about, what I'm doing to make the mix sound better. That's very beneficial. A lot of people have learned from that as well. And so over time, it's just evolved into what it is now. And so just kind of like keeping with what we have previously been doing, the song that was chosen for the December song contest was chosen based off of which one I thought really had the most potential and could benefit the most from a professional mix and master. So with that being said, it's going to be very hard to move forward with these if the winner is chosen and maybe they don't want a mix and a master. That's fine. But in order to get the most benefit back from the community, I think a mix and master where I take it from point A to point B is going to be the best. So if you do win, please keep in mind that that will be an option. Now, if you don't want your mix broadcasts on air, for whatever reasons that might be, let me know. You'll still get a free mix and master, but I just won't do a video where I showcase what I did to it. We'll just leave that sort of between me and you, the winner. Now, if you're totally fine with me showcasing it, please let me know that, and then we can go through the formalities of figuring out exactly how you need to get that to me and what I'm going to do with it. So at any rate, I never take ownership of anything that I mix whenever it's through this song challenges. So if you win and your song gets chosen and I mix and master it, you have complete rights to that. I don't take anything from it. I don't skim anything off the top. I'm not trying to get my hand in the cookie jar. It's not like that at all. I'm just simply giving a service back to the community. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check out some of the comments that are coming in here about some of your goals. So Mark George says he just really wants to carry on developing his music skills. That's notable to mention. And from where you started when we first started doing these song contests to where you're at now, dude, if you keep going in the direction that you're going, wow, I already went through the roof with your talents already. So Tim Consley says same here. Pirate Beats has so many goals for this year, but definitely focusing on music. Good deal. Herky Acuff says to keep finishing, or to finish all those unfinished tunes. Yes, I have heard that time and time again from individuals that have been asking on social media, like, what's your plans for 2021? Are you going into it with a plan, with a purpose? Most everyone at least has a plan and a purpose. And almost everyone wants to, oh my goodness, my heart just dropped. Produce Like a Pro just stopped in. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year to you and yours as well. We love Warren and the whole crew over there at Produce Like a Pro. You guys are awesome. Looking forward to working with you guys here in the near future as well. And wow, it looks like we got another newbie here. I'm going to try my best not to butcher your name. I'm going to say it's Chawezi. I don't know, but you're new, so you get one of these. Anyone that we see that's new in the chat, they definitely get a round of applause and a little crowd cheer. Love each and every one of you. So good to hear your, oh, Warren is here. Oh my goodness. The man. I am honored. I'm humbled. Wow. That you would even stop by here is awesome. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and get into the song submission, the one that was submitted that I chose as the winner. And like I said, I chose this based off of which one I thought would benefit the most off of a professional mix and master. And so without further ado, oh, I said it right. Wow. That hardly ever happens. I get a round of applause myself for that one. You would not believe how many people I've butchered names like crazy in here. So we're already on a good foot here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to reveal the winner now. Guys, like I said, everyone was a winner here because anytime that you submit music and you're putting it out there and you're bearing your heart and soul on your sleeve and you're releasing music, that's what I keep really trying to drive that point home. And there's a reason for that. The more that you release, the more confidence is gained. The more that you release, the more that you start to feel like, wow, I got actually some good feedback from that. And it wasn't completely negative. And you're going to get that around here because this is an excellent community of individuals who just love to be loved and love others. And so that just continual releasing of things is going to help you to get better, because the more that you do something, it's like the whole 10,000 hours thing. The more that you put yourself into anything in life, really, the more that you practice at it, the better you're going to get. So let's go ahead and reveal a winner without further. I think I've built it up long enough. So let me get the old trusty drum roll here. And the winner is Raihan Rosalie, and the song was Never Happened. So as typically what we do is the winner will then get an extra playback here, and we'll all listen to this again. And then I've already given some constructive criticism as we went through them on the first place, like just a little bit of feedback on what could make each and every one of the mixes better. But now I'm going to really deep dive into what I feel like I'm going to do with this song. And then hopefully I'll get the multi-tracks later, or the stems, whichever one they have access to. And we'll go ahead and we'll do the full-blown mixing here on the channel later. And then you can see exactly what I do to get it from a pretty good sounding mix already to really an excellent mix, something that will be ready to be released on radio. So let's go ahead and check it out. And I do apologize, by the way, the lava lamp has not heated up. So normally I would flash over to the lava cam right now and let you guys see the lava lamp, which was so generously suggested by the community here that I should get one. I don't know why I never had one. Now I'm official, guys. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and take a listen to the song Never Happened.
You settled into my life and break my heart in pieces every time. You're suffering under your control, and the games you play while there you just grew old.
You treat me like you don't care. Yes, you don't care. I'm bleeding deep inside me, deep inside me. 'Cause I've been waiting for all this while for something that would have never happened. And you never treat me right. I always knew that you would never love me as much as I loved you. As much as I loved you.
You always said that you were right.
So one of the things that really stood out about this song to me, and even now when I'm listening to it, is the vocals are just so real. I mean, they're not trying to be anything that they're not. So much emotion is being evoked in this song. You can feel like this song has been written out of a place of realism, like they've been to wherever they're writing about. They're not just writing about some, topic out in the ethos. They've literally been through this. And I think just the instrumentation, the bass guitar, for instance, right now, really could be helping to drive this point home and evoke even more of that emotion. So let's go ahead and listen back to the song.
For something that would have never happened. And you never treat me right. I always knew that you would never love me as much as I loved you. As much as I loved you.
You gave it up. You left me hanging.
See, I'm hearing a little bit of,
See you again, don't you see me again, don't you see me again?
see, there's so many opportunities right there, especially to make that just pop out of there. And I want to take that and mold that and help that come to life right there.
Don't you ever come back to me, baby. It should have never happened. 'Cause I've been waiting for all this while for something that would have never happened. And
Little key change right there.
you never treat me right. I always knew that you would never love me as much as I do. And I don't wanna see you again. Don't you see me again, don't you? 'Cause I've been waiting for that something that should have never happened. Should have never happened.
See, this song, to me, this song has all the right elements for production-wise and instrumentation-wise. It's got all the right elements for an excellent song. It just needs that little bit of extra push there. So, all right. So I can already tell there's definitely going to be some things that I'm going to be doing to this mix. Hopefully this gets back to because this was a one-off submission. I've not normally, when we have these, we have kind of the same people submitting things. And so I kind of know, like, okay, if this person wins, I pretty much know for sure I'm going to be able to get in touch with them and say, hey, you won, send me some tracks. But with this one being a one-off, I'm not necessarily sure that I'm going to be able to get a hold of them. And I don't know, unless they're a subscriber and I can go back through and try to find them, I'm just going to have to post it on social media and hope and pray that they actually find out that they won. Because sometimes we've had these in the past where people just kind of like, they see the blip on their screen and like, oh, I want to submit a song. And then they submit one and you never hear from them again. So you don't, it's like, we had a couple of winners in times past that they won, but I couldn't give them their winnings because they disappeared on me. So hopefully this will not be the case, because I really, really see a lot of potential with this song. I have, as already stated, the bass guitar I really think could help drive this song some more. I feel like there needs to be some more spatiality added to the mix, whether that be through the use of delays or reverbs. But I really think like it could really benefit from that. And then also the vocals, I think if I could treat them vocals just a little bit differently, they sound really clean, really clear. Love the acoustic guitar. I'd like to know, I'd be curious to know how they actually recorded the acoustic guitar. It sounds very clear, sounds very realistic. So please don't tell me it was a MIDI. I've done that before. Mark George submitted a song and I was like, wow, that acoustic guitar was recorded really well. And he said that was a MIDI guitar. And I was like, how did I not know that? But the fact of the matter is, some of these instruments, MIDI instruments, VSTI instruments, some of the sample libraries and stuff that they're coming up with nowadays, I mean, it is getting really, really hard to tell sometimes the real thing from the other. So congratulations again, Rayhan, I'm probably butchering that. Rayhan, hopefully I can get in touch with you and figure out how to say your name. But anyway, congratulations. The song is awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on it and to just massage it into something even better. It's definitely got all the potential, like I said. So once again, though, everyone who has submitted, you guys are awesome. So much talent represented here in this community. And in fact, I see some very talented individuals who have submitted in times past. Tim Consley has submitted some amazing music. Bob Consley just this December was his first time, I believe, submitted an amazing submission. Pirate Beats, he's submitted before, had an awesome song, a blues song actually, which was kind of out of his genre of where he kind of works with, because he's more of a beat maker, but it was really cool. Mark George, he's won 2 of these in a row, I believe. Like I said, Herky Acuff, another individual who has submitted songs that have been absolutely amazing. So guys, just keep up the good work. Remember, 2021 doesn't mean that, all of the bad stuff is behind us per se. But what it does mean is, at least with a fresh face on things, we can move forward and put that stuff behind us and just try our best to put it out of mind. Maybe if we can't put it behind us, at least put it out of mind, and all things can become new. And the thing that I love about the New Year's and all of that was just, you have that, it's almost like that closure to things. And it gives you this inspiration of, okay, it's a new year. I've got new goals. I've got new dreams and new aspirations. And thank you, Pirate Beats. He says Robert slayed the guitar on it. I tried. I think it sounded more Dave Gilmour than it did overly bluesy, but I got a lot of Gilmour in me. So, but yeah, once again, thank you so much for all of the submissions. You guys are just absolutely awesome. I want to give some quick shout outs before we move on with the next portion of this show today. And those shout outs are going to go to these cool individuals right here. So thank you, Lee Forrester. Thank you, Zico Slater, Broncosoft, Marquis Washington, Echo Sounds, Periska 991, Amar, Daniel Frank, Adisa Matima, and that other name, Rob Halforda. Anyway, thank you, each and every one of you, for subscribing to the channel. I know there are a million different channels out there doing similar things. So the fact that you would stop by my channel and give me a subscribe is just super awesome. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are just crushing it. All right. Now, another thing that I wanted to bring up, I wanted to make mention of this while I have you guys here, is the fact that one of my goals for this year is to reach 10,000 subscribers. Now, there's a specific reason why I want to reach this goal. It's not for bragging rights. It's not for money. Because I mean, honestly, if I ever, one of these days, I'm going to show my Patreon members, I'm going to show them the back end of what YouTube pays. And then you all will see why I'm so happy when people donate through super chats and things like that, because giving away free courses and things like that all the time, those things cost money. Essentially, it takes your time, and time is money. And so YouTube pays very minimally, especially to a channel as small as mine. I mean, I know in light of other channels, I appear to have a few more subscribers than others, but it's not until you get to like a certain threshold that you actually start making enough money to even really do anything with. And what I want to do is I want to get to 10,000 subscribers so that I can actually give more back to the community. Now, I think if any of you really looked retrospectively to this channel in particular, you know that I love giving stuff away. In fact, I've even had people reach out to me through email and tell me that I'm too generous, that I need to quit giving stuff away because I'm shooting myself in the foot. That's not the person that I am. I love to give stuff away. I love that feeling of being able to help somebody. And so this 10,000 subscriber mark is so that hopefully in America, it's a little bit more slanted than it is in some of the foreign countries. If I was to reach out to, say, for instance, I've worked in the past with Donner, and I'm starting to work with a company called iSet Music. Now, these are Chinese-based companies, and they don't have a large fan base as of yet, which Donner is getting larger now, but they don't have a large fan base here in the States. And so with me being a smaller channel, I can usually reach out to them and they'll say, oh yeah, let's do a collaboration. Let's do a giveaway very easily. However, here in the States, it's night and day. Like you have to have a set amount of subscribers before they'll even answer their emails, unfortunately. I was just talking about this with the individual who helps with Vertex effects and was really, really wanting to do a review on one of his pedals that they just came out with. And it wasn't his fault. He's got bills to pay and everything like that. And I totally get it. I understand it. But it also is kind of disheartening when you've got individuals like myself who would give it a very honest review, a very in-depth and thorough review, and individuals simply won't because you don't have enough clout, so to speak. So if I can get up to that 10,000 subscriber mark, I believe I'm going to have enough clout to start reaching out to bigger companies and doing bigger giveaways, better giveaways than I've done in the times past. That will also offset some funds for me to actually begin to pay for individuals to be on the show interviews. I know actually Warren, who was just in the chat a minute ago, or he might even still be in the chat, he very generously gave of his time to come on the show free of charge. Super awesome that he would do that considering how busy this guy is. And many others who have came on the show, Matt Boudreau, Brian Wampler, Ethan Weiner. There's so many who have come on the show just completely free of charge, and knew that up front, and yet still came on and shared their knowledge, their wealth of time and knowledge. And so I would like to be able to offset that and at least give them something for their time. And so I'm looking forward to 2021 being a year of exponential growth, not just for me, because this has never been just about me. And that's why the tagline and the slogan, if you will, around here is what it is. We can dream alone, we can create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. And I want to see everyone in this chat. I want to see everyone on this channel who stops by, who subscribes, who even is just passing by. I want to see everyone improve their musical knowledge, their musical skills this year. I want to see everyone I want to see your YouTube channels grow. I want to see your fan bases grow. I want to see your knowledge and wisdom of the things when it pertains to music grow. And so I really feel like this is our year. I really do. And I have seen countless, probably just even last night, probably 20 channels that just sprung up in the last 2 or 3 months because of the whole quarantine thing. People actually found time to start channels. And now I'm seeing all these channels that are just springing up out of the woodwork of other individuals like yourself who are starting to put their work out there and who are starting to showcase how they do certain things within their DAWs. That is super cool. It's just building this reservoir of knowledge for all of us to learn off of. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and spin the wheel of awesomeness. That's right. We have not yet spun the wheel. And ever since I updated OBS, I can't tell if the levels are too loud or not loud enough. So I apologize, guys, if it's not coming through like it normally does. I'll have to try to finagle with this later. But hopefully you can hear my 70s theme song music here. So for those of you who have been around the channel, you know what this means. We spin the wheel, and wherever the wheel lands on, that's what we do. The wheel just dictates whatever we do. We are slaves to the wheel in a good way. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and let's see where it lands. And we will go from there. First, I have to get to the wheel spinner page here. And here we go. Oh no, it's not spinning. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I gotta do this. Oh, there it goes. It may spin twice now. I think it was lagging. And we have, it's right on the line, but it looks like it's over on tutorial video request just a little bit more than it is on mixed critique. So for those of you who have been in the chats for very long, you know that the last time we did this, one of the most requested tutorial video requests that was given was on the step recorder feature within Cakewalk by BandLab. So I just recently released that video. Mark George says, yay, not just for spinning the wheel this time, but for me also releasing that video. I think he was probably the one who has been harping on me, and just my phone was ringing off the hook with phone calls from Mark. And he was saying, hey, I really would like to know how to use that step recorder feature. And to be honest, I was completely oblivious to the whole, like, I knew that it was there, but I never really thought about, like, how could I even use that? So it was super cool to actually be able to see that come to life. And then I found out, wow, I will actually use that. So when you guys request a tutorial video, it's not just helping you guys, it's helping me as well. So there are just music while you talk, not when you are silent. Oh, I bet I know why. Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. So I think I know why. So like, for instance, if I was to go back to here, I think I need to set this to this. And then maybe you'll be able to hear both of them while I'm talking. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back through here and fix all this madness. I updated OBS and then everything came up different. So that's what I get for updating. At any rate, we did have the winner reveal. So thank you guys so much for stopping by today for the winner reveal. And we're going to go ahead and we'll just open up the floor now for tutorial video requests, as the Wheel of Awesomeness has stated. And also, if you have any questions, audio related questions, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to ask me something personally, if you want to ask something about your personal musical journey, let me know. And not just myself, but also individuals in the chat are very knowledgeable, and maybe they could help in areas where I could not. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Cakewalk, and that way if I have any questions about Cakewalk, I can answer that here in front of you. Oh, by the way, I did get a solo guitar back from Jason, the individual that I work with, for the song that we're working on in the collaboration, the Crossroads song. I have yet to actually fly it into the project. Maybe I'll do that now. And hopefully it'll be in the right timing. I can kind of move that around. You guys can see what that will sound like. I think did I just do that? Yeah, I did. I just closed Cakewalk. The console view came up and I clicked the X, and evidently it wasn't just for the console view. Awesome. Mark George says he's struggling with mid-range EQ. You know, actually, that's ironic that you would bring that up, because that's actually a video that I was just thinking about touching on, because, you know, I've done some live mixing tutorials. I've done some live EQ tutorials, but one of the things that I really haven't touched on enough, I don't think, is the fact that, like, the magic all lies in that mid-range. And so as much as it is beneficial in some ways to EQ out some of those problem areas, it's also beneficial to leave some of that stuff in there, because if you take it out, you're kind of like taking out the heart and soul of a song. So that's definitely a very good suggestion, Mark. Thank you. Mark's always got good suggestions. He's all over it. Pirate Beat says, has anyone been having trouble exporting songs? I keep getting the MIDI from other tracks that should be playing on my exports. I have to bounce it in an audio track and mute the MIDI to get it to work. That's weird. So let me ask, when you're exporting, let me just go to my export preferences here. Well, actually, let me just act like I'm going to export this mix. So first off, there's different ways to export within Cakewalk by BandLab. And obviously there's this little thing up here where you can use this, and it has sort of like a generic menu. And then it has an advanced section. Now, I would always use the advanced section because you have a lot more options at your fingertips. Now, what you're going to see here on the screen is this is the area that you really want to make sure that is checked before you export. So for instance, there's a preset, I believe it's already built into Cakewalk, that's called What You Hear. I almost always will use the What You Hear preset, because I know exactly what I'm hearing is going to be exported. So you might try, and if you don't have this preset, just basically check all of these boxes here, and you can actually save that as a preset. So if I wanted to save it as What You Heard, I could do this and go to save, and then that would bring up a dialog box that would allow me to then save that. As you can see now, what you hear is what you heard. And that's going to be confusing. And if at any time I pull one up and I don't need it, I can also delete that. So delete what you heard. Are you sure? And then go back to what you hear. So that could be part of it, because if the bus effects, track effects, and also the sometimes fast bounce will actually, if it's not enabled, will mess things up. And sometimes if it is enabled, will cause some issues. But here recently, with the most of the updates and things, I've not had any problems whatsoever. So I hope I didn't just jinx myself by saying that. But, and then likewise also within this menu that you don't have in the others, you have the option to export just the buses. So another thing that you could do is actually just export just the buses and then import them, re-import them as audio tracks. Now, technically you shouldn't have to do that. So I would think it's probably just your settings over here. So 9 times out of 10, that's what it turns out to be. All right. Good question. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and fly in this guitar solo that was sent to me. And hopefully everything will line up like it's supposed to. Okay. And I don't believe that he recorded this in stereo. I think he tracked it in stereo, but it was still mono. So I'm going to go ahead and just convert that to mono. Hey, Keith. Good to see you, buddy. I was wondering where you was at. You was probably wondering where I was at. I normally do these things at 2 o'clock, and I did it at 3. So no problem, Pirate Beats. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that gets you where you need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and solo this out just so you guys can hear this. Get some really good tone on this. Keith. He's already got jokes. Okay, so hopefully this lines up. Now, I did tell him it was 44.1, 24-bit, so hopefully the recording settings were all set up properly. Let's take a listen and see if it just drops right in there. So, loud music in 3, 2, and 1. And lose your soul. Lose your soul. Nice. Lose your soul. Your soul. Lose your soul. Lose your soul. When the crossroads are calling, it's time to pay your dues. Ripping it up. That sunlight, midnight is coming after you. When the crossroads are calling, time to reap what you sow. To gain the world and lose your soul. Wow. Well, there is definitely no doubt in my mind that he was ripping it. Wow. So, kudos to Jason, man alive. That just goes to show he's definitely got some talent. Now, this individual, I'm hoping to get him on the show one day. Now, he's a super nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he's just a little backward about, I think, maybe getting on the podcast or getting on the YouTube channel. I might be able to soften him up a bit. I don't know. But yeah, I'd love to have him on here anyway, just to have him talk to you guys. He was actually a member of the house band of the House of Blues in Nashville, Tennessee for a while. So he knows his way around music studios. He actually owned one at one time. He knows his way around gigging and guitar work, evidently, which he said that was his Strat played through a Marshall. Yes, that was a Strat played through a Marshall. Literally just threw up SM57 on it and recorded it. First take. No, just kidding. No, he was beating his head against the wall. He texted me and he said, I think I've done this 25 times and I still don't have anything I feel like. And I listened to this. I'm like, whatever, man. Good night. So, all right. Mark says it might be nice to get some people on and just take us around their home studio. Hey, that'd be cool. That would be really cool. Do like a little home studio tour. Watch together. That'd be cool. Yeah. And we could all like drill all over each other's gear. And I think what a lot of people would see though, and this is what kind of freaks people out, I think sometimes, is like, for instance, when I did the studio tour here for the Patreon members, I can't remember if it was Chris or one of them reached it back out to me and was like, you really don't have all that much. And I was like, no, I don't. And I'm doing everything that I'm doing here with a minimal amount of things. And I guess being the gear asphyxiando, whatever that, being the gear nerd that I am, I guess most people figure that I've got like a, 400 mic locker and 16 Marshall stacks behind me and all this other stuff. No, I really literally just have just enough to get done what needs to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and slap a little bit of processing on this. What I used on my guitar, just to see kind of where that gets that setting. And the thing is too, he said he wasn't happy with it. He was going to re-record it this weekend and try to give me a better take. And I was like, man, if there's a better take than that, I don't know if I want to hear it. I might just quit guitar. All right. So here's the processing that I would have done or already have done on my own guitar, EQ and everything. I'm just going to kind of aficionados. Yeah, that's right. I knew I was in the ballpark, but I wasn't. I was in the ballpark, but I wasn't. Anyway, Keith says, I have the important stuff. I got a lava lamp now. So, and I'm going to find out a way to run my audio through that lava lamp and get it all nice and gelled, get it all gelled together. So let's take a listen to this now with the processing. This is literally just slapped on there. Throw some reverb on there. There it is. There it is.
That sunlight, midnight is coming after you. When the crossroads are calling, time to reap what you sow.
Good night. Yeah, that reverb just woke that track up. You are so right, Mark. So I noticed Tim Consley says, I didn't know that you can just drag effects from one track to another. Absolutely. So check this out. let's say that I wanted to move this CA to A to the track below it. This is where the control button comes in handy again. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen so you can actually see me do this. So if I hit the control button and then just click and drag, it's going to copy that. Super cool. Super cool. So let's see. Yeah, definitely, Keith. Yeah, this is not a completed mix as of yet. I'm still waiting to see if he's gonna. Honestly, I'm fine with the solo that he sent me right here, but he said he's gonna give me another one, so I'm gonna wait on him. I've been very patient with this song. It's probably the most patient I've been with any of my songs. Normally, I'm just like, hurry up and get them done and get them released and get on to the next one. And this one I've just been kind of taking my time with, and it kind of feels good, honestly. It's kind of like putting money in the bank. It feels good, even though you really want to spend it. So yeah, as you can see, I've got some automation being done on the vocals, but not anything like, and in fact, I was hoping that during this portion too, I was going to be able to hire on a few more voices and do like a choir right there. I'd like to get some female voices, especially like some bluesy female voices, to be doing like the "Is your soul, lose your soul." You know what I mean? Something like that. So, but yeah. And as you can see, I did pull it down just a tad, but because a lot of instrumentation just gets sparse right there, it definitely does tend to overpower right there. So just for posterity's sake, I'll go ahead and dip that down a little bit right there anyway. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, that's exactly. I was looking for that gospel. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on this track too, by the way. And I'm hoping, man, I'm so hoping. This is my desire, okay, for this track. For those of you who are in the chat, you're getting an inside peek at what I've not even talked about nor even released yet about this track. So I'd like to talk about first about where this idea even came from, okay? And I'm going to go into more in-depth on this later when I actually do like a mixed breakdown of everything after it's fully mixed and mastered, ready for release. And I'm going to go through the whole release process with you guys, what I'm going to do to release it, how I'm going to release it, where it's going to go, how I'm going to get paid. But so recently, how do you put the automation? Oh, it's in this little button right here. Let me zoom in on this bad boy. These are the automation lanes, Mark. So you just click on that. That brings all your automation lanes up right here. And then when you're not clicked on it, when you collapse it, your automation lanes show up on top of and you can actually adjust them from here too by going to, instead of clips here, you can actually go to automation here and adjust them that way. So I can get the lanes, just can't get them into the track like that to tidy it up. Yeah, it should be as simple as you just bring down the automation lanes, and then whenever you're done automating, you just simply collapse them down using that button right there. So, but anyway, back to the storyline here. So recently, John Mayer did the unspeakable, and he ditched Fender. I don't think he really ditched Fender. He just he sucker punched him in a way. But he went with Paul Reed Smith. Sorry, there was a hair on the mic here. He got in touch with Paul Reed Smith, and they started using some of his ideas to make the now what's called the Silver Sky. And it's the new Paul Reed Smith Strat copy, if you, but it's got a Paul Reed Smith headstock, and a lot of the wiring is proprietary to Paul Reed Smith and all of that. But anyway, I thought it was ironic because the first time he ever unveiled this guitar that I had seen anyway, and he was showing it off, he said, "I'm introducing my new signature guitar in concert with Paul Reed Smith, and this is the Silver Sky." However, the guitar was gold, and I was like, silver sky, but it's gold. I'm not seeing it. But I love his playing. Don't get me wrong, and I love Paul Reed Smith. I just never have enough money to own one as of yet. Someday, maybe. And I love John Mayer's guitar playing, and he's got a lot of feel. He's got more now than he did, especially about 6-7 years ago. He's got more feel, I believe, now than he ever did. But he has always just been so cocky, for lack of a better word. And as I was listening to his interview, it's gotten better since B.B. King knocked him down a step or two. But, which, by the way, there is a video out there you've got to see. It's one of B.B. King's birthday bashes, and it's got Slash on stage. It's got one of my all-time favorite guitarists that's alive right now, other than Alex Lifeson, is Derek Trucks, and he's on there. We got Slash on there, and then we got B.B. King on there, and they're all playing together. And BB's just going down the line. He'll play a song, and he'll let each one of them take a solo piece. And every time it gets to John Mayer, he kind of cuts him short, and he's like, all right, I'm going to have Derek Trucks do the next one. Or he'll cut him short and go ahead, Slash. Slash is being super cool about it, super humble about it. But the more that this progresses, you can see on the face of John Mayer that he is just tore up. Like, he is like, why am I not getting more time to rip? And at some point in the show, BB literally stops him and is like, hey, you're doing too many notes. There's no feel in it. Yeah, you're fast. You're doing, but... And then he points to Derek and he says, look, basically, let him show you how it's done. Now, Derek Trucks is predominantly known for slide guitar and pick guitar at the same time. And so it's very soulful, very, very bluesy. And yes, Pirate Beats, Susan Tedeschi and the Derek Trucks Band. That is an amazing combo right there. But Midnight in Harlem, that one is... literally, the first time I ever heard it, that's the song that made me fall in love with his guitar playing and literally almost brought me to tears. It was that good. His solo was just all over the place, just emotionally speaking. Anyway, so BB knocked him down a notch, and it seemed like it got better. But anyway, during this interview, as he was talking about the Silver Sky, he's got this golden guitar. That's when it kind of hit me, okay? In a previous interview that I'd watched with him, he talked about his rig, his setup. And basically, if you took his setup, John Mayer's setup, and you put it against normal MSRP pricing right now, he's got 2 Dumbles, he's got vintage guitars, he was naming off all this stuff that he's got, and it added up and equated to about $1 million. So at the beginning of the song, you find out real quickly, if you know this backstory, who this song is for, who it's about. He's got a golden guitar, aka the Silver Sky, with $1 million sound. So there's his $1 million rig setup. So as the song progresses, though, it talks about this aspect of the crossroads. And I won't get into that at this particular time and juncture. We'll get into that later, but my desire is for John Mayer to hear this song. I know that's like, you're out there, Robert. There's no way. But I think if enough people get on board and share the song, and if I build enough buzz about what this song is about, I want to at least get him to listen to this song. I want him to hear this song. I want him to hear that what would it profit to gain the whole world and lose your soul? I want him to hear that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I honestly, there's a lot of people that I look up to in the music industry that I feel like a lot of their depression issues, the things that they battle, that they go through, is just literally because they have turned their back on the one thing that they need the most. They've turned their back on the one thing that could help them the most. And it's not in meditation. It's not in yoga. It's not in the bottom of a bottle. It's not at the end of a joint. It's not in cocaine, lines of cocaine on the back of a toilet seat. There's so much more to life than that. And I would love to have that opportunity to sit down with some individuals like John Mayer and like, Alex Lifeson and say, listen, guys, I don't know your religious standpoint. I don't know where you stand religiously speaking, but let me tell you what he's done for me. Let me tell you some of my stories of where God's brought me from, how he's saved my life and how he's kept me from suicide and how he's kept me from drug overdose and addiction. I would love to be able to sit down with some of these people and tell them that, because I believe that there are some of them, even right now, and you can almost hear it in the songs that they're writing, that are literally like crying out, like they want to know, what do I got to do to be happy? I've got the wealth, I got the fame, I got the women, I got everything but I'm not happy. And I'd love to be the one to be able to sit them down and go, listen, I can tell you where happiness is at. Anyway, exactly, Tim. Preach it. Preach. But I would love for this song to get out there to that point where he would actually be able to hear this song. And my hope is that it would be anointed enough that it would really affect him. At least, I'm not saying he's going to run to the church house and, which I'm also not limiting God, but at the same time, even if I can just get him to think just for a split second about, maybe there is more to life than all of this, man, that would be worth it. That would be worth it. I would feel like at least then, that I'd accomplished what I would love to accomplish with this song. Now, if the song never reaches his ears, it still has the same message that I feel like is applicable to everyone, especially those of us who are, struggling artists. Because a lot of times, and I know I keep touching on this, guys, but I really feel this strong tug here lately to talk about this stuff. But musicians are so prone to being their own worst enemy. They're so prone to fits of depression and melancholy, just because we have all this expectation and we feel like that we have something that should be shared with the world. And then whenever we try to share it, it just, nothing happens, or we get, bad feedback about it. Or I think the main thing is just those unrealized expectations. But if you can ever get to a point where the music is not about becoming rich, the music is not about getting yourself a name, the music is not about, if you can ever get to the point where the music is just simply there to serve. And I'm writing the music for me. It's helping me, and hopefully by helping me, it's going to help others. So, with all that being said, Mark George says, maybe you could do some vlogs, just you and the camera, and just talk about your experiences and your stories. I've really thought about that lately. In fact, I'm going to, yet again, great minds think alike, Mark. I'm trying to figure out why I don't have access to YouTube Shorts. I'm seeing a lot of other channels have access to those where it's like a short little video that but I don't have access to it. I may have to get in touch with YouTube and see, because they've opened up membership. I thought, well, surely if you've got memberships, but evidently it's like a beta thing and only some channels have it. I don't know. But even if I don't do it that way, maybe I'll do it through Instagram. Maybe I'll do it through my Twitter account. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll still do it on YouTube. I'll just post shorter videos of me literally just, talking to the camera. Maybe I'll go live, just short little live spurts. But I do want to break out of the box of just helping individuals with their music and start also helping individuals with their, I don't want to say mental health, because it's not even really always about mental health. It's more about, I just want to help individuals realize their potential. I want to help them realize that, not to get so caught up in expectations. And I don't know, there's just so many things that I feel like that surround themselves around music that are rarely ever talked about. And that's one of the things that I love. Yet again, I know I always say this, if I feel like a fanboy, but one of the things that I absolutely love about Warren and his crew over there is they do this stuff. They just recently had, actually right before COVID hit or right after, he talked about depression in the music industry and drug addiction. And I was like, thank you, Warren. Someone needed to start saying this stuff, because so many individuals who are trying to make it in music, they feel like, well, that's the norm, and it doesn't have to be. And in fact, if you look at most of those who have made it, they're all like looking back going, I wish I wouldn't have got into all that stuff. I could have accomplished so much more. And so you're right though. Mark, I definitely do want to, Keith, you're nuts. I definitely do want to start breaking out of that and start focusing not just on helping you guys make better music and showing you tips and tricks and things like that, but I want to start solidifying like some of the mindsets behind why do we make music? And what does it mean if no one likes it? What does it mean if we release something and it goes nowhere? Does that mean that we're bad at what we do? Or does that just simply mean that we're bad marketers? Or does that mean or does it just simply mean that it's not our time yet? You know, I don't believe in the whole, all of the stars have aligned to make this thing happen, because I believe wholeheartedly in the law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. If you reap good, you're going to sow good. Or rather, if you sow good, you're going to reap good. And if you sow all of your heart and soul into a song, you're going to get that back in one way or another. So Keith says, I have a coffee addiction. No kidding. I get withdrawal symptoms, headaches, and tiredness. That brings up a good point. I myself have even been thinking about that lately. I'm like, man, I drink a lot of coffee. And now it's got to the point where I've got to get Death Wish coffee, which is 2 times the caffeine to even feel like I'm getting a boost from coffee anymore. And so that's one of the things that I am reluctantly going to do this year is I'm going to cut back on my coffee consumption, because although coffee isn't illegal and it isn't considered a drug, it is altering you in some way, shape, or form. And if you're saying I'm doing the same thing, if we're having withdrawal symptoms from not having it, then it might be time to start cutting back on something like that. I would hate to, let's just say, for instance, I know there's a saying that's floating around our house all the time, chance favors the prepared. And let's just say that you are very well prepared for whatever life might throw at you, and you get that chance of a lifetime. Maybe you're invited on to someone's podcast that you really look up to. Maybe you're invited on to someone's YouTube channel that you really look up to. Or maybe a record producer says, hey, I stumbled across your music and I need a song in 2 days. If you can produce it for me, if you can get it to me, I'm going to put it out to 1 million people and get you some credits. And let's just say that opportunity comes along, but because you didn't have your coffee, you have such a splitting headache, you can't devote enough of your time and talents into it like you normally could, because now you're inhibited by the fact that, well, I'm out of coffee. I know it seems like just a trivial thing, but at the same time, if chance favors the prepared, what happens if the prepared is inhibited because of drug abuse? What if they're inhibited because of, mental assault? What if they're inhibited because of withdrawals from coffee? I mean, I know it seems, I'm not trying to go like all gung ho here, but at the same time, I feel like if you really want to make something at this, you have to treat it like it's a business, or you have to treat it like it's your livelihood. You have to treat it like you're already living off of it. And even though you may not be. So, wow, this has been a really philosophical moment here. I didn't even mean to get off on all this, but hopefully whenever the song comes out, we're going to really sit down and talk. I want to talk more about the whole crossroads thing and where the second verse leads into. So, at any rate, thank you guys so much. I feel like sometimes I just get on here and I provide this much value and then this much rambling. So thank you guys so much. Once again, congratulations to the winner. Awesome job on the song. I'm looking forward to mixing and mastering it. I'm going to be posting it here in the YouTube community section. I'm going to be posting it on Facebook. So if you see that and someone pipes up and says, hey, that's me, tell them, hey, please get a hold of Robert. He wants to mix and master your song for free. Get a hold of him. I'm super simple to get a hold of. homestudiosimplified@gmail.com. I mean, go to the Facebook page, go to the YouTube channel. There's tons of ways to get a hold of me. So Pirate Beat says, it seems like most really successful musicians have a whole team of people handling things like marketing, etc. This is true. This is true. There are ways to minimize your legwork, and maybe we'll get into some of that later too. I would like to make this year a year of exponential growth for everybody. And so I'm going to try to put together some things that still are music related, but a little bit different. I want to talk about automating certain things. Now, I don't automate everything that I do specifically because like, I don't want robotic answers. For instance, I don't want somebody going, hey, great video, man. And then a little bot comes up and says, oh, thank you for subscribe, blah, 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 blah. You know, some little robotic response every single time. I want to personally respond to that person myself. And that goes the same with my Facebook Messenger. I have a automated response that tells them, you know, if I'm busy, I'm going to get back with you. But then apart from that, I don't let that automated responder just keep handling everything for me. I want to get in there and know, okay, well, what's your need? What's your want? How can I help you? But there are some things that definitely can be and should be automated because it just makes life easier, and it's not putting you in such a state where you look like a sleaze bag, you know? So like, for instance, I'll just throw this out there. There are programs that I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon that will allow you to post to one social media account. And once you post to that one social media account, it will share it across all of your accounts for you. So there's ways to do it. Hey, Bubbalooski. He gave me the old disco man there. By the way, guys, this is my son's channel, Bubbalooski. He does gaming and toy reviews. Evidently, this is his subtle way of telling me, Dad, I'm ready to do something. Get off of there. And I am getting off of here, son. I'm rambling now anyway. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you all for each and every one of you for all your patronage, whether it be through monetary donations, through your prayers. I always will take your prayers. Everybody could use those. And I want to let you guys know too, that each and every one of you, I'm praying for you as well. I know that this new year is going to bring new challenges. And so we're all going to need prayer going into this year. So he says that was my mom. Okay, so that's mom telling me it's time to get off of here. I got you. I hear you, honey. And we all know when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So, you know, you've been married for any number of years whenever you say something and you start looking over your shoulder. Like, is she back there? Did she hear that? So, all right, guys. Well, I love each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for everything that you do. And I'm looking forward to a great 2021 with each and every one of you. And I want to see each and every one of you grow. I want to see this channel grow so that we can help others grow. And until next time, guys, I want to tell you all Happy New Year's. And may this new year bring... She's bursting in on me. Oh, no. She's breaking the party up. Oh. All right. So, yeah, it's definitely time to go. Oh, I smell cookies. No wonder. Oh, yeah, that smells good. Something's cooking in there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to my soapbox today, too. I love each and every one of you. Have a safe New Year's, and we will continue this next week. So we have one of these every week. If all of you who are new here don't know this, we have one of these every single week. We get together and we chat, we talk, we go over mixes. There's tons of tutorials here on the channel. If you're looking for music production tips and tricks, you can definitely check that out. It's not all just about Cakewalk by BandLab. It can also be applied to any DAW, but a lot of it is specifically for the world's greatest free DAW on the market. So until next time, guys, remember this channel exists to simplify the complexity of the... Oh, and they're gluten-free. Oh, this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. We can dream alone and we can create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. God bless. Psych. Hey, that actually brings up a good point. Thank you, Tim. I completely forgot to even talk about that. Yes, we are still continuing the song challenges. They're going into January. Yes. In fact, I have a link that I need to be sharing, and I wasn't because I got off of my soapbox. It's in the description of the video if you haven't already seen that. But I'm also going to post it in the chat here just in case you might miss it. So here is the new link. You can upload your submission into that folder there. It just needs to be in a WAV or MP3 format. No vulgarity, no cussing of any kind. It can be instrumental. It can be a full-blown band. It can be whatever, just as long as it's clean, as this is a kid-friendly channel. And then we will go through those submissions. I'm going to say the deadline for this is going to be around January 25th-ish. I'll make that more solidified later. But yes, this is the link. And yes, we are having a January song contest. So if you have a song you'd like to submit that bad boy. Now I really am going.